What's good with y'all, man? We back with another Word of the Week video. It's good to be back. Another best day, another best week, so I can't complain. If y'all new here, my name's Shane, aka Juice. I do a Word of the Week podcast series where I feature some people on the podcast and have them talk about the Word of the Week, or sometimes it's just me talking about the Word of the Week. What we do is to try to implement whatever Word of the Week it is into our lives, into a way we can better ourselves mentally, physically, spiritually, any other way, just to better ourselves as a whole. And so we're also known as the Word of the Week crew, but welcome. So last week's Word of the Week was grind. When I talked about grind, we talked about how difficult it was. What Dalen and Brayden said was that it's all about just doing what you have to do, no matter how you're feeling, no matter what the circumstances are. It's just choosing the grind every day and getting truly 1% better every day, no matter what you're facing. It's just grinding. It's just grinding. I know for me, this past week, things weren't easy for me this week. I was very sore. My body was super sore. I've been training nonstop 6 to 7 times a week, just to prepare for the upcoming season in January for my new team. So it hasn't been easy. I've woken up super sore, and somebody's been like, dang, I don't want to work out, or dang, I don't want to do this, but I still do it. You still have to do what you still have to achieve and cross off the task at hand. So that's what I did. I grinded through it, and truly I feel better and I feel happier because I know that the grind is starting to pay off. I'm starting to see improvement in things that I was struggling with or not as advanced with in some things. But my grind has been starting to pay off, and that just makes it all worth it, and I'm so excited. But that was last week's Word of the Week. Now it's the time for the new one. So let's get into this new Word of the Week video. Cue the intro. A little new intro. Cue it though. Okay. It's us. So this week's Word of the Week will be love. What is the meaning of love to me? When I think of love, it's the fact that you will unconditionally have feelings for someone or something. It's an unbreakable bond between someone or something. For myself, I would say I truly love soccer. Like, I'm constantly thinking about soccer. Ever since I was introduced to the game, I've had a love for it because it's something I constantly think about. No matter how I'm feeling, no matter what's going on in my life, I always want to play soccer, or I always want to watch soccer, or I just want to do something involving soccer or a ball. So that's what it truly means for me to have love, and, or what love is. And I would do anything for soccer. That's what it truly means I have love. And in love regarding my family, I would do anything for my family. I would do anything for my friends that I love. That's what it means to have love. It doesn't matter if I'm mad at them one day. If they're in need, I'm going to help them out because of how much I love them. That's what it means to love somebody or to love something to me. So why do I choose love over hate in a society or in a world where hate is so common? I would say that I choose to love people more than hate, because I don't think hate gets you anywhere in this world. I believe that how you treat people is a testament to your character. And I've always heard the quote that said, treat people how you want to be treated. And I truly don't like to be treated in any bad ways because that puts a damper to my mood. So the least I can do is always spread love and spread positivity. I know in high school, people would say like, oh, you know so many people, but I really didn't. I just wanted to treat people how I would be treated. So I would spread love. The kid that's maybe sitting on the floor or sitting at lunch and doesn't have someone to sit with, I would still say what's up to them. Hey, how you doing? How's your day going? Or maybe that kid in class doesn't have a partner. I'd be like, hey, let me be your partner, because you just never know. So I'd rather spread love than hate, because hate gets you nowhere. I'm a believer in God and things like that. So it's like, what would God do in that situation? I don't think he would ever spread hate. He would always spread love. Even when people do me dirty, kill them with kindness, man. Kill them with love, because maybe it's not their fault. Maybe they're going through something. Maybe they don't know that they're hurting you. Maybe they do know that they're hurting you, and it's just like, hey, so be it. You don't even need to give a reaction to them. Maybe that's what they're fishing for. So that's why I say just spread love. Even though in this society, in this world, it's common to spread hate. You can look in the media, you can look at other things. People are always judging people, always mocking people, always so quick to spread hate. But be the opposite. Be you. Be the 1%. Spread love. What is it that I love to do and why? First off, I love soccer. I'll play it till I can't play it anymore. And even after that, I want to coach a team. And even after that, I want to start a foundation involving soccer. So that's something I truly love to do. And why I would say is just because it's something that when I first started soccer, I played other sports, but it was something where I was different. I didn't see many people that played the sport that looked like me, not many other black players. Growing up in Ohio and then moving in Arizona, there was even less. So I loved that. I loved being different. I loved being able to stick out. I loved being able to take people on 1v1. I loved being able to show off my speed in soccer. I loved being able to run. I love running. So that's something I love to do. But also something that I've recently figured out that I love to do is hiking and also just creating things. I've enjoyed making this YouTube channel more than I truly thought I would. It's not for the clicks, it's not for the subscribers, it's not for that. I've truly just involved. I love making and creating things that can help people. I truly think that this series, the more it grows, will be able to help more and more people. And I've loved that. I've loved having people say like, hey, I watched your video and it motivated me to do that. I'm like, that's awesome. That makes me feel so good inside. And I also love just giving back. I love giving back to people because I love helping people that can't help themselves. Which is why I want to start a foundation. But yeah, giving back is something that I love to do because I know there's some points where I wish I had some help and I didn't have it. So if you're capable to give help, give it. So those are some things that I love and why I love them. So how can doing what I love or what you love change someone's life or change my life? And why do people always tell others to do what you love? I believe that doing what you love can change your life because say you're at a job that you're getting paid well, right? But you dread going to it every day. You dread it. So you're going there with a frown on your face. You're going there lackadaisical. You're going there unmotivated. You're going there just to do it because you have to do it and doing it because you're getting paid for it. But instead, say you're going to a job, your dream job, or something that you always love to do. Maybe you're getting paid a little less. But you're going there with a smile on your face, you're happy, you're excited, you're looking forward to work. You're looking forward to, and also I don't even consider it work. When you do what you love, I don't consider it work. And that's why I say I think it's important for people to find what you love and find your passion because you'll realize that you'll never work a day in your life. You're doing what you choose to do. You're doing what you love. And when you find that, you'll truly understand that there's just no better feeling. You're doing what you love as a profession, as a way to make ends meet. So this is why I say, and I suggest to people to find your passion as soon as possible, to find what you love as soon as possible and do it and chase it. Because what's stopping you? At the end of the day, the only thing that's stopping you is yourself. And you'll realize that, I've started to realize that, is that the only thing that stops me is myself and my mental. And once you get that out the way, you realize that you're capable of doing anything. So you can achieve whatever it is you want to achieve, and you can do whatever it is you love to do. And believe me, if it's not there, someone hiring, start your own company. Start your own company of what you love to do, and hey, that's your avenue. So get started. But for this week's word of the week, love, I thought the perfect people to talk about this word of the week would be my cousins. So Kayla and Ira recently married, newlyweds. I love them both. Kayla is my bloodline cousin. She's a DIY home influencer, does amazing work. Y'all need to check her out for real. And she just married Ira, who went to that school up north, man. I forgave him for it though, because he's a great person, great guy. And I don't think she could have married a better man. He's someone that has joined our family and acted like he's been a part of it the whole time. So it's pretty awesome to see, man. So I'm blessed for them both, and I'm glad they were willing to hop on this. Also, both of them were former cheerleaders at Division I colleges, so it's also just a great to get their insight on that as well. So yeah, I'm gonna give the floor to them and let them talk about the word of the week, love.
My name is Ira Brandon III. I am Channing's cousin by marriage. So want to start off by just saying thank you for allowing us to be on the podcast today and really join the dialogue and conversation that you've been having on social. I think you're doing a great thing. But I wouldn't be a big cousin if I didn't say go blue first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? Got to give respect where respect is due. 4-time national champion. So I could say that, Channing. I don't know what you got, but I know it ain't 4. So.
And I am Kayla. I'm Channing's cousin. Thank you so much, Channing, for having us on your podcast. We're super excited to be here.
Kayla and I, we've been together since March of 2018, so a little over 5 years, and we just got married in June of this year, June 2023. So lockdown, ladies, I'm so sorry. But I think it's fitting that we're a part of this episode because it's all about love. One of the first questions that Channing had for us was, what is the meaning of love to you? And I think both of us have the same opinion that love is something that is best described by its definition. So pull up the Merriam-Webster if you need to. Outside of the basic definition of love and that strong feeling, for me, it is something that once you get, it never really goes away. So I guess it's like no matter how far away you get from your family or how far you get estranged from certain situations, like end of the day, you do a DNA test, your blood is their blood, y'all are always gonna be related no matter what. And so for me, whenever I love somebody, I'm always gonna love them, right? And that is just the strength of that emotion for me and how permanent that it is in my life.
What he said. I think that I pretty much feel the same about love. It is the most wonderful thing that we have. Like the most wonderful feeling. It can make you do crazy things, but I think love can also make everybody the best version of themselves.
Well said. The next one was, why do you choose to love in a world where so many people choose to hate? And I think that that's an interesting question because if you really think about what love is and how strong that emotion is, like hate is exactly that same thing. It's just that majority vote makes it to one side or the other. And so like if I love something, then I'm over 50% of like, and that 51% makes me love. Or if I hate something, I've moved from tolerance to intolerance, or however you describe hate, but like the root of that emotion, I feel like it's founded in the same way, like kind of like how people say like jealousy is love and hate at the same time, right? You really can't describe an emotion like love without having something to contrast it against. Duality is present in the world in so many instances. And so, if anything, I would say I would take somebody who hates something over somebody who is indifferent about something. Because if you're indifferent about it, like you almost can't be moved. But if you hate something, there's something in it that invokes an emotion, and that is a human element, right? So I think that choosing to love is letting that 1% make that majority vote, and allowing yourself to be open up to appreciate or find a connection with something that makes you makes you feel like you love something.
Like Ira said, it's two sides of the same coin, right? It's two opposite ends of the spectrum, love versus hate. I think the key part of love is that, like I was saying, only good things can come from it. So when you choose to love instead of hate, all you can create from that is things out of love and light. Whereas choosing hate, there is nothing good that ever comes from that. You're choosing darkness, and there's more power in light than there is in the dark.
I feel like I choose to love over hate kind of along the lines of the same reasons. Like, I feel like there's a SpongeBob analogy for everything, but like how SpongeBob felt like he not only was a fry cook, but like every Krabby Patty that he made was with love, and people could tell the difference between something that he made and something that Squidward made, right? And it's not the ingredients per se, it's like the energy behind it. And so like if your energy's in the wrong place, or if your energy's in a negative area, how do you expect something positive to come out of it, right? And like personally, I try to find like the silver lining or positives in every negative situation, because there's always something to grow from, and there's always a lesson to get to, even if you can't see it immediately. And like that mindset of, I won't necessarily call it like blind optimism, because I think that there's times to be, you know, like you can't be happy all the time, but more so if I'm looking for something positive, I can find it. The same way that if you look for something negative, you can find negative things all the time around you. Sometimes more easier than the positive things. And so like by simply having a mentality or a mindset around trying to find those positives, I think shapes the world around you. So that's why I choose to love over hate in majority of situations. Why do you choose to love over hate? You did kind of touch on it a little bit with...
Yeah, there's just really nothing good that is ever going to come from hate. I think that people that come from a place of hate, it always has to do with something that they dislike within themselves. And you feel like by spewing that hate out to other people, you can kind of get rid of it, and maybe it will pass that, whatever those feelings are that you're harboring, outside of yourself and onto someone else. But it really just doesn't work like that. It really spreads it, and you get what you give, right? So when you're giving out hate, it's not like it leaves you and goes to somebody else, and now it's somebody else's problem to deal with. And now we're all just full of hate. Whereas the same thing is true of love. If you're just constantly giving love, you're also never going to run out of it. Now you're filling everybody up, and then they can go and fill up other people's cup with love, and it has a trickling effect down the line, no matter which one you give out, love or hate. Mm-hmm. But obviously only one of them leads to a positive outcome.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great way to put it. And knowing my audience, right, people think that people from Michigan hate Ohio State, for example. I don't hate Ohio State. If anything, it is that fine line of understanding what the situation is. Michigan wouldn't be Michigan without Ohio State. Ohio State wouldn't be Ohio State without Michigan, right? And so it's like you can dislike or like have a rivalry without taking it to a level of hate, because that's what makes it fun. If I don't have Ohio State, I can't have fun at the same level. And so like, I know like that's specific to the audience that we're thinking about. I know there's a lot of Ohio State people watching this podcast due to the nature of the author and the owner of this channel, but I figured that would kind of hit the nail on the head there. So this next question, I'm gonna let Kayla go first, because she's really built a lot, and I'll follow up. I'll try to have a good response, but what is it that you love to do, and why?
So if you all are familiar with me, I'll just give you my kind of a little bit of background about me in case you aren't. I am a content creator on Instagram. I make DIY home lifestyle videos, and that is something, just doing home renovations and DIY, something that I have loved to do my entire life. Before I even realized that was really something that I wanted to pursue as a career, I've just always loved to do it. And obviously I have turned what I love into not just my job, but my entire life, because as a content creator, it never stops. You're always recording, you're always creating content, you're always thinking about content. I have chosen to make what I love to do my life. Why? Because what more to life is there than doing exactly what you love to do every single day? Not everybody gets that. Not everybody gets that opportunity. And it's a huge privilege and a blessing to get to do what I love every single day. Yeah, why not? I really don't have a better answer for why I do it. It's what drives me. It's what I think about first thing when I wake up in the morning and at night when I'm trying to fall asleep, is doing what I love. And the fact that I get to do it and provide for my family through it is amazing.
So maybe a better way to think about why would be, so like You explained why you love it. Why did you choose to pursue something that people would consider more challenging due to the fact that you love it versus having a conventional job or like doing something different that would make more money on paper? Like, what was it about that love that led you to take that type of risk?
I mean, number one, the benefits of it. I get to work from home. I get my own freedom. There's no cap to how much income you can make. All of those things that you can kind of like, that have like a monetary aspect to it that you can kind of like put in a spreadsheet and look at. Like, okay, these are the pros, these are the cons. The pros definitely outweigh the cons for me. But I think at the end of the day, it really boils down to who doesn't want to wake up every single day and get to do what they love to do. And I can't think of anything that I would rather spend my time doing. So for me, it was just like, well, I'm going to be doing this thing anyway. So yeah, I could have this other job, but now I'm doing two things. So why not just make this my thing? Why not just turn what I love to do into my job? And then in turn, it became my life, as content creation does.
And at this point, I'm going to start guiding your answer because I think there's something that you're being modest about within that statement because of the different journey that you've gone through to get to where you're at. How, like, I'm going to paint two scenarios for you. In which scenario do you feel like you're able to give more? You're in an environment in scenario one where you're able to wake up. You are your brand manager, you are your account manager, you are your media relations, you are your endorsements, like everything that has to do with what you do, you're the head person. Scenario two, you have an aspect of that in your life, but then you also report to a manager, report to another boss, a side arm. You have somebody who's telling you how to run your day, somebody who has an inefficient process, and you have to abide within that. Like, which one of those scenarios do you feel like you are able to give more? And do you think that that is because of what you love versus what might be a distraction? And if you can give any context to the viewers about what I'm talking about, I think that would be helpful.
I just feel like you're not going to like my answer. I do think that it all boils down to what do you feel like your strengths are and what is the outcome that you're looking for.
I guess this is what I'm getting at. From my perspective, what I've noticed is like you said, there's things that people are inherently good at or environments that they perform better in. But off paper, I feel like because of the environment that you've created for yourself out of love, you're not any less productive or qualified to do any other job. But the sheer fact of you are doing what you love within Kayla Simone Home, I feel like permeates to the success that you have. Whereas you have other people who start YouTube channels, start social media channels, do TikToks, and they go through the motions, but it never clicks because they're not passionate about it. And so it's like, I don't think that you've ever had a bad job. You've always met people's expectations almost to the point where you've like figured out a way to make your job role obsolete because you're so efficient at that. But it was never more than just what that 9 to 5 was. And the benefits that you could bring to that ended at 5 o'clock. Whereas now you're in an environment where like everything that you do, every investment of your time, everything that you look forward to somehow ties back to your brand and that passion permeates through it. It's no question to me why you have the success that you do and why you're different than other people. You're not just doing your job, you're putting love behind it. You're passionate about it. And that's why you have the success rate. Like, that's why I feel like you do what you do, or why it comes across that way, because you are passionate and like you love it.
Yeah, definitely. I would say that's where a lot of the success has come from. I wouldn't say that's why I do what I do.
Fair.
I do what I do because I love it. But I'm successful at it because I love it, because I'm passionate about it, because that's what gets, like I said, gets me up out of bed in the morning. It's the last thing I think about before I go to sleep. I have been able to take that love and turn it into energy and use that energy to drive my business
No, well said.
and create the life that I wanted. And there's just something so satisfying in knowing that something that I love and care about is what's able to sustain me for as long as I might possibly want it to.
For me, I keep it brief since that was kind of more of a dialogue. One of the main things I love to do is just kind of like be around and meet people. I think the most valuable asset that we have in life are each other, because you could be born at any given point in time, and no matter what happens from like technology or any types of ways that we can communicate and connect with one another, you'll never be at the same place at the same time with these people ever again at any point in time. And that's something that you have different than anybody else in history and anybody to come. And so I feel like we do ourselves a severe disservice if we don't take an opportunity to meet somebody, because everybody has a story and you just never know how that story might connect with you, especially as you think about the different periods of life that we're in. Whereas a story might not have hit when you were 17, but when you're 29, that same story might have a different type of impact. So it's more than just the subject matter or content, but also like where you're at in your journey. And I think that's kind of the magical part of meeting people. And so that's something that I try to make an effort to do, or try to not necessarily make effort, but to explore opportunities to do that in everyday life, or kind of put myself out of in more of a extrovert type of scenario in order to meet people. That is definitely something that I do that I love. How can doing what you love change someone's life, and why would you tell someone to do what they love?
I mean, I could just use myself as an example. The opportunity for me to do what I love, so to do DIY, home renovation, content creation, changed my life because it opened me up to a world of opportunities and possibilities that I didn't even know were possible. And in me discovering that, it allowed me to kind of change other people's lives, because I can share my knowledge and my talent and my passion for those things with other people who are passionate about the same thing. So in a way, my decision to become a content creator didn't just affect me, it affected all of the lives that I touch through my content. What started off as somewhat of a selfish decision, wanting to, work from home and be an influencer basically, kind of turned into this thing where I get to give back to this entire online community of people and show them that they are they're capable of doing the exact same thing. So I'd always push people to do what they love and go after what they're passionate about, because it's bigger than them. If you find what you love and you pursue it, it's going to touch somebody else's life some way, even if that way is not, even if you can't see how it's going to affect other people from the beginning, it's there.
I want to answer that question from how it can impact someone else's life, to give a different type of lens to it. And so like for my job, I'm a senior solutions consultant for a tech company, and I've been doing that role since 2018. But I actually started out in tech as a sales rep in 2016, and I was good at that job, but I knew it wasn't something that was going to it didn't fulfill me. It didn't provide me with the same type of energy or like the competitive nature that I was familiar with from doing athletics in college. And so I want to say like it was around like November, December of 2016. I was on a call for work where I had sourced a deal. My account executive had invited me to take notes, but also kind of get exposure to like how the deal cycle went, past booking a meeting, which is what a lot of my peers that's all they knew. So I was really excited for the opportunity to see more about what the impact led to. Selfishly, because I knew I got to meet somebody on the other side of the line. And we had a solutions engineer on the call who we had a customer and she was not confident in technology. She was a marketing director, and so she knew that if she made a bad investment with her marketing budget, she would basically get fired. And so the solution that we were selling wasn't cheap. And instead of convincing her that, you know, the bells and whistles are worth it, like this is the best in class, blah, 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 the solution engineer focused on figuring out where she felt uncomfortable, right? And so this made it from a technical thing into a personal thing. And so we uncovered that she's not really tech savvy. She didn't really have like an iPhone or anything. She didn't really use apps, right? And so this is like a whole marketing play, and she has to build marketing campaigns on the computer, as opposed to like whiteboarding, where a lot of marketers are familiar with. And so we were on a call for about an hour and a half. And by the end of the call, she went from that type of mentality to being able to tell our solution engineer, okay, now you do this and click here, and this is how you connect that path to make this marketing campaign diagram. And so I thought that was so impactful because, one, not only did we do a good job at our job of convincing somebody to make an investment, but really more important, she felt confident enough to actually digest, and like the solution engineer met her in a way that she could understand the technology, as opposed to just saying the same thing over and over again and getting frustrated. And she knew what that was going to mean for her. Like, she didn't feel threatened by her job being lost, and she knew that this solution would ultimately free up time for her to. She mentioned like she liked going, being able to come home early because her kids got home from school early, and be able to go to the park before it got dark, because she was always inundated with a ton of work that ended up spilling onto her plate because of some disconnected processes. And so after that moment in 2016, I was like, this is what I want to do, because I get the opportunity to meet people, and ultimately we all have a job to survive, right? And I don't think anybody wants to wake up and be like, I wasn't successful, right? But the things that we use the job to fund are why we work. Like, that's our why. Like, those are things that you truly care about. And so I don't think about my job as, how can I sell you this solution? I'm thinking about, how can I free up time from this thing that should be done at 5 o'clock to get you to be able to have more time to do the things that you work for, like being able to go overseas, being able to attend your kids' sporting events, being able to spend more time with your wife, being able to hang out with your dog, being able to, you know, fulfill a life dream, or get the car you've been saving for, and or work on, you know, anything else that's not work. And I think that aspect of it is valuable. So that's kind of how doing something that you love can change someone's life. Why I would tell somebody to do what they love is because what I do as a solutions consultant is what I love. I get to meet people, right? And so, you know, a lot of the feedback that I get from my leadership team is like, whenever you're on a call, you know, people gravitate to you. You make friends everywhere you go. You find a personal way to connect with our customers, and that is your superpower. And it's not like I'm trying to present myself in a fake way or try to be a whole different or code switch and be a super professional. I know at the end of the day, no matter what your job title is, you are a person. Like you are a human being. You have something that you care about. You're something that matters to you. And this job is important, but it's not number one, right? And so I think by remembering that fact, and I mean, like I said, selfishly, I want to hear people's stories. I like connecting with people. And I think that in turn permeates into the success that I have in my job, but also why I feel excited to work every day, because I get to get rewarded with meeting people. I think if anything, this discussion, this dialogue shows you that there's many different ways to think about love holistically. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, it just comes down to identifying something that invokes a feeling inside of you that's stronger than like, right? It's stronger than like you just can't wait to do it, or it just makes you feel like you're at your quintessential self. Like you feel like you're on top of the world when you're in those types of scenarios. Like that can look many different ways. And I think that between the two of us, we uncovered a couple of different ways you can think about it.
Yeah, and I think both of them were pretty good, very different, but very good examples of doing what you love with the person you love.
Mm-hmm. See you, Chan.
Love you.
Thank you for your input on this Word of the Week. I appreciate you both. Love y'all both. I hope to see you both soon. Moving on, I wanted to talk about just this Word of the Week, love. Just to continue to spread love this week. Do what you love this week. Start what you love this week. No matter what, just do it. Do what you love. And I told you, if the avenue's not there to get hired to do what you love, create your own avenue and create your own business or something like that. Continue to get 1% better every day. Continue to be a part of the Word of the Week crew. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment, all that. And yeah, much love. See how I did there? Much love. Juice out. Enjoy your day. Stay blessed. Peace.